In this video, I'm going to talk about the Fisheye module, which creates a lens morph effect. I've got this video here, which I created using Kyber AI. And the first style we've got here is radius. So when it's right down, there's no effect applied, but as you start to turn it up, you can see we're getting this fisheye lens effect coming into play. So the radius controls how big that effect is. So the more you turn it up, we can see the bigger it is. And you've got this V button, which stands for vignette, which applies a very extreme vignette effect around it. So everything around that fisheye lens is going to just be black, and you can turn it off. Underneath, we've got this lens control, which makes the effect more pronounced as you turn it up. And this has this M button, which either stands for modify or mode, I'm not sure which, but if you click that, it switches the mode of the lens effect, so you can get these different kinds of effects from it, and you can switch that on or off. So I'm gonna leave that on. Here we have got a rotation grid, so you can rotate the effect around using this. And if you click this R button, it's going to reset its position to the default in the middle. If you click this plus button down in the bottom right corner, you can also input some specific coordinates for this grid. So if I want it at 10 on the x-axis and 70 on the y-axis, I can input those specific coordinates. We've got this auto rotate dial. As you turn that up, the lens is going to automatically rotate. And this dial controls the speed of the rotation. So the higher up it is, the faster the rotation is. And here we've got this barrel dial, which applies even more warping. Every control here has beat controls and sound reactivity controls. So I'm just going to set this to respond to the lower frequencies. I'll set the radius to respond to the higher frequencies, and lower frequencies for the barrel. And maybe I'll just I'll leave it at that for now. And I'm going to play some audio and we can see what this looks like. And then I can put the beat reactivity on the rotation dial, so this is going to change randomly in accordance with the master beat control, which I'm going to set to 1 note over here. You can also apply sound reactivity to these rotation settings here, and you would do that if you only want it to be rotating on one axis. So with this setting, this changes on both axes. You can see they're both changing. So if you only wanted it to rotate on one axis, you can use these individual sound reactive controls. So now it's just rotating on the x-axis, and if I do this, it's only going to rotate on the y-axis. Down in the bottom left hand corner, as usual, we have our transparency settings. So this controls the transparency of the effect, and here we have a selection of blend modes that we can use.